Taking a look at how Serie A stands at the end of 2021. Inter, 4 points clear at the top of the table. Looking good, aren't they, in the defence of their title. Milan second, Napoli third, Atalanta fourth. Juve have been very much so the story, haven't they? The struggles in Max Allegri's second time around in Turin. Interesting stuff from Buffon talking about Ronaldo, saying, I think Juventus lost the DNA of being a team. We reached the Champions League final in 2017 because we were a side full of experience, but above all, we were a single unit. We lost that with Ronaldo. Don and Jules still with us. Don, obviously, you follow Italian football extensively. Is that fair, Buffon's comments?
I mean, listen, when someone like Buffon speaks, you have to take note because he's been inside that dressing room. But I find it very, very harsh. I do, Dan. You know, you bring a player like Ronaldo in to try and get you over the line and win Champions Leagues, but he can't do it all on his own. You know, he comes into the club like Juve and he expects the bar and he raises the bar, and everyone playing for Juventus at the time have got to get to Ronaldo's level. Some of them couldn't. Some of them were nowhere near. So he can't drag single-handedly a club like Juventus, when you talk about all the big teams in Europe, to be in title holders time after time and winning Champions Leagues time after time. That's hard. That's not on one man. Even though I'd bow down to the knowledge of someone like Buffon, who's been a legend at that football club and been in that dressing room, so he knows, you know, the characters of all the individuals and how maybe the dressing room was with Ronaldo. Maybe he was too divisive. I don't know, but I find it harsh to be sort of all on him.
Jules, of course, is the Juve side who just got in the Champions League last season, sitting outside the top four now. Was the signing of Cristiano Ronaldo kind of the spark of that downfall?
I don't think so. I agree with Don. I think it's far too simplistic to say, oh, he came and then we lost our way. Because he was maybe their best player in the 3 seasons that he spent there, certainly in terms of all the goals scored, and now we see that he's not there and they're struggling to score goals. And then it's too easy to say, oh, because he was there, then we lost our collective strength, we lost our DNA, we lost our identity, when they clearly are other reasons why they didn't do as well in the last 3 years than before. Change of managers to start with, poor recruitment, apart from Cristiano, is another one. And there's more than that. The other one is also key players not turning up, apart from Cristiano. I mean, I'm not sure Buffon or Bonucci, who, by the way, remember a few months ago already had a similar dig towards Ronaldo as well. When he scored a hat-trick against Atletico Madrid to qualify them for the quarterfinals of the Champions League, I don't think anyone was complaining about DNA, identity, Cristiano this, Cristiano that. They were way too happy that he was there and bailing them out again. So I think it's too easy. And to be fair, I find it quite disappointing from Buffon.
Is this harsh?
Yes. Without question, I believe it's harsh. But then, to Don's point, when you have somebody like Gigi Buffon, who's been there for Juventus, who was part of that team that broke records in terms of numbers of titles won, goes away and then comes back and just feels like the club is totally different, you're looking for what caused that. And it may be too simplistic to simply put it at Ronaldo's feet, or more to the point, not Ronaldo's feet, but the decision to sign Cristiano Ronaldo, the decision to take it away from it being a team ethic. And why what Buffon says resonates with me a little. I was with Nigel Winterburn at West Ham, and he always spoke about Arsene Wenger when he came to Arsenal and how he grew the team ethic. If they offered a new contract to one of the defenders, all the other three, regardless of their status, would get a bump in accordance, or in some measure. And he always felt that forced everybody into this kind of being there for each other, and that team ethic, that DNA that Buffon is talking about. So I'm understanding what he's trying to say, but again, how you just say signing one of the best players in history somehow bumped us off course doesn't really resonate either.
Stevie, you were saying it was similar when Liverpool signed Don Hutchison.
Yeah, no, that was straightforward. What a mistake that was. No, I think actually Buffon in a few years' time will look back on what he said and regret it, because once you've finished and then you look back, things become a lot clearer.
Right.
You're not, at the time you think were different things. You know, like Souness, for example. it seems crazy now that when Graham Souness came in and made so many changes, and some of those changes people would laugh at now. The fact that he stopped us drinking beer, he stopped us eating chips in the Boss. At the time, people were saying, what's he doing? Changing all these things. Now people would laugh and say, what were you doing drinking beer and eating fish and chips?
Yes.
So I think Buffon will regret in a few years saying this because, yeah, I'm with Jules. I think it's very harsh.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.